Alright, welcome to another battle, round 3 action between Line of Blood on the left as Wehrmacht or Ostier, and on the right we've got myself, Akula, as the Americans, and co-casting will be Ruber Gruber. How's it going, Ruber?
Right as rain, Akula. Right as rain.
Excellent. So, Kolodny Firma is the map choice. Any input on this map in terms of strategies or thoughts?
Cold Firma is a pretty good balanced map, I think, in comparison to some other maps that have been played in this tournament. I don't think it really favors any side, really, but given the current American meta, I think that Americans generally have an advantage due to the short range nature of the map.
Sure. So in the south, it looks like I'm capping fuel quickly as opposed to, and hopefully that connector point next. In the north, of course, Line is also going for the fuel with his Askrens. Kind of interesting, not sending them closer to the battle. And the NGs are going to cap the munition point.
Yeah, I think that's very odd. Usually you have your engineers back cap while frontline infantry like Askrens, which do really good early on, are at the front of it.
Right, it's just going to be that extra little delay in getting those to the front line now for Line of Blood, but we'll see what happens here. And I'm moving up my rifleman to the middle here to cap, looks like the midpoint, mid VP. And Line is going to respond with some grenadiers, and we'll see the first shots fired. They're going to get into that building most likely, and it'll be green cover, building cover versus green cover, which favors the building, of course.
Oh, he entered through the front side as opposed to the back side, so he took some damage getting in.
Yeah, good point. 2 squads up there now for Akula versus Line's 1 squad in the building. Plinking away at the riflemen though, down to 3 men, and the Grens go down to 3 men as well, so we'll see who has to retreat here first. Rifles now caught out in red cover, and they're going to adjust slightly. Here comes the cavalry with the Askrens, and they're going to charge up and storm in on the rifles, so you're going to see a quick retreat here by the rifles.
Good rush.
Indeed. Well played by Line. That sprint ability is fantastic. How do you like it? Do you find it useful?
Yeah, I find it very useful. It really helps Askrens get into actually effective range, considering that they usually have a hard time running through all this gunfire.
Yeah, as long as people keep in mind they cannot fire when they're charging at full speed, so you just got to get them into range and halt them, and then they'll rip stuff up. Looks like the middle is being capped, and in the north we've got some rifles behind the tractor, but they're not in cover versus some pioneers. And meanwhile down south, some rear echelon have snuck behind Line of Blood, and I think he's aware of it, that they're going to cap that, I'm not sure if I'd call it a cutoff, but a point behind the munitions.
Our headquarters has been improved. We can now build light mechanized infantry.
Those rear echelon are probably going to have to get out of there. They're sort of trapped in between some assault Grens and 2 Gren squads, and there they go. And it looks like it's going to be close. No. 3 rifles moving up to respond. Got to watch out for that negative cover on the road. This is sort of a standoff here, if I recall, as no one wants to expose themselves.
Oh, here comes the rifle nade.
Yep. And, oh, punishing rifle nade, down to 1 man. There's a volley of grenades as well, and mass retreat by the rifles.
Almost 2 squad wipes for both sides. Well,
Indeed. So now some quiet period here as the rifles are way up in the north. Just looking at the tactical map right now, rifles in the north, and we've got an MG42 from Line of Blood. Looks like he's going to garrison the building on the near the fuel point and the VP. Sorry, near the VP, not the fuel point. And both sides are reinforcing at their bases.
I don't find the placement of the MG very economical, given the defensive nature of it.
Where would you do it with your MG at this point if you had one?
I wouldn't place it in that sort of building. It's easily rushed by riflemen from both the north and the south, since there's a green cover from the tank and the stone wall.
Right. Yeah, generally I don't like to put MGs in buildings unless I have it well supported. I mean, what situation do you like to put your MGs in the building, if any? In general, I know it's situational, but
if there's a lot of open space, I suppose. Like maps like Langrenskaya have some buildings that do cover a lot of points and stuff like that. They're not,
right.
Ideal, but there's not a lot of green cover for units to attack MG from.
Looks like we got some barred riflemen moving up, and he did get the MG out and into cover. Took me off guard there, and looks like some. Yep, rifles almost going down, but they're going to escape again. Smoke out onto the MG team, but unfortunately they're pinned and or suppressed. But the assault grenadiers are very weak, as are the grenadiers. Grenade coming in. And apparently Line just lost a squad. I didn't quite catch, probably in the north there. And there's a retreat by the rifles at center and a retreat by the pioneers in the north. Line's going to have to get some sort of either healing or reinforcing on these two squads he's got hanging out at mid. There they go. So some cautious play by both sides, I would say, at this point. And Akula went for the captain. Not sure whether to refer to myself in the third person or not, but why not?
Your commentary.
Well, I was told I was told I sounded stupid when I said that, but I'm going to ignore that person. It's just more natural for me to say it that way, rather than me, I. So some wounded riflemen doing a lot of capping in the north, and looks like again the barred up rifles are going to move up in the south, whereas in the north we've got a pack out. Now, is that what you like to do, try to get a preemptive pack when you expect some armor, or do you tend to just wait a little longer?
Generally I do, but I find packs very hard to use on close quarter maps like this.
Here's a
risk a teller mine, but to be honest, I don't know what my opponent's doing most of the time. If they have a heavy field advantage, of course I go up pack.
For sure. Yeah, in the north and the south rather, we've got a bunker pinning some guys, but there's smoke down, and then the captain moves in behind and he's engaging a pioneer. Pioneer's going to walk on by, and they're going to use the bazookas on the back of the bunker. And in the north, looks like some rifles might go down to some Askrens and some Grens, and yes, they do go down. And looks like that bunker's going down as well. It's down. Another smoke redundant. So Akula capping the south well. Line sort of moves the bulk of his forces to the north, save for the pioneers capping the south victory point. MG moving to the north. That captain might get a squad wipe on the pioneer if he doesn't get out of there. Nope, he's going to escape. So really good map control by myself right now, Akula, and Line is trying to get some points secured in the north, and he's moved his AT to the north as well. Now shuffling it back to the middle by the looks of it. Any comments on what you would do in this situation as either player, or?
If I was Akula, I'd try to secure the building in front of line of blood's base. It provides great line of sight, and it's an early warning indicator of any kind of upcoming assaults.
Sure.
If I was a line, I would basically hold out till 6 CP and clone a stub E.
Enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Yeah, I like that idea of putting a squad in that building. That I don't think I did that at this point.
The sector has been cut off.
Here comes some Panzer Grenadiers, interesting, versus the captain. And the captain's going to try and fall behind some cover, but he's got the 2 bazookas, which puts him at a severe disadvantage, down to 2 men, throws a grenade, and out they go.
The enemy is taking our territory.
And in the north, we've got some Grens sort of behind the lines capping, and the Asgrens capping the VP in the north. See if these barred rifles can take on this Gren squad here. He's in negative cover, so they're going to go down pretty quick. Line will only get out of there likely. There he goes. And MG squad caught out by a bar squad as well in the north.
We are suffering losses.
And down goes that Gren squad on retreat. And the MG manages to escape. He's now moving in some low health Panzer Grens. They're going to throw a grenade, and they just managed to dodge.
Explosion E is ready.
Down to 2 men though, and they're going to retreat. So quite a scuffle there. Just taking a look at the units, Line's got a Panzergren, an Asgren, an MG, and an AT gun. Akula's got a Major, a Captain, 3 rifles, and an ambulance.
No two similar units for line of blood.
Indeed. Which is good, but also a sign that he's lost a couple of Grens. So...
Oh, he's going for T3.